May I have your attention, please? Thank you very much. That was my gavel. I don't have a gavel. I've never had a gavel. We always have excellent decorum. Mr. Kasmov, will you call the roll, please?
Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of Mayor and Council for the Borough of Elmwood Park for June 3rd, 2010 to order. On roll call, Councilmember Katamanian. Here. Castiglia. Here. Lewinsky. Here. Alstino. Here. Work. Here. Tomboy. Here. Mayor Moller.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Everyone please rise for a prayer and flag salute. O God our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting which we trust to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and plant therein the keen sense of justice and the greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so that our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey requires the commencement of every meeting a statement by the presiding officer. Excuse me. Now therefore be advised the meeting requirements of this meeting have been met by posting an annual notice in the record of Hackensack and the Herald News of Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk, as well as in the public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2010. As you can see, this meeting is being taped, and it'll appear on Cablevision, Channel 77, Monday, 12 noon, Wednesday, 3 p.m., and Thursday, 4 p.m. If you'd rather watch it on our web, it's www.elmwoodparknj.us, www.elmwoodparknj.us. Thank you.
Mayor, first on the agenda this evening, we have the 2010 municipal budget hearing. We'll need a motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Truinsky, second by Mr. Conboy. Any discussion? Call the roll.
On roll call, Councilmembers Katamanian.
Here.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Truinsky.
Yes.
Alstino.
Yes.
Work. Yes. Conboy.
Yes.
Motion to open is adopted.
Stop.
Anybody from the public wishing to be heard on the 2010 municipal budget?
Don't all stand at the same time, please. Thank you. If no one wishes to be heard, I'll close the public portion of the meeting. This is not a vote on a budget. This is just a vote to allow the public to participate. We are still reviewing the budget, still trying to tear it down a little bit and come in with a little better number.
Mayor, next on the agenda, we have the approval of minutes for the regular meeting of May 20th, 2010, executive session meeting of May 20th, 2010, and the executive session of May 27th, 2010.
Motion to approve all three, please.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy. Mr. Boncino, discussion? Call the roll.
On roll call, Councilmembers Katamanian.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Truinsky.
Yes.
Alstino.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, tonight under ordinances, on first reading, we have Resolution 150-10, introduce ordinance 10-12 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to authorize the 2010 road resurfacing program in, by, and for the Borough of Elmwood Park in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $300,000, to pay for the sum thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds, to finance such an appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of such bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds. Be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, June 27th, 2010, at 8 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Castiglia and Mr. Conboy, any discussion? Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing the parking lot in the back of the municipal building. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 11 streets, but they're mostly intersections, which are the worst we have in town, so we're handling the intersections, and we're doing some of the others that DPW, our engineer, and the council have reviewed and felt that these should be done. We're getting a decent price on paving streets, but I do have to tell you, with the $300,000, it's not as much as we used to get. So for those of you who are from Elmwood Park and wonder why it's taken so long to get to your street, we have 43, 44 miles of road in town, and we don't do 42, 43 miles of road every year. So it takes a while to get around and do that. And unfortunately, there are times when we have to repave intersections, as I indicated earlier, and there are some streets that are just seldom used, and by the time we wait 10, 12 years, some of the ones we paved are in bad shape already, so we have to go back and do them again. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Chawinski? Yes. Alonsino?
Yes.
Work? Yes. Conboy?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 151-10, introduced ordinance 10-11 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled "An Ordinance to Amend the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park, Chapter 1 thereof, entitled General Provisions," and whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, May 20th, 2010, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled "An Ordinance to Amend the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park, Chapter 1 thereof, entitled General Provisions," pass on final reading. Mayor will need a motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, second. Mr. Castiglia, any discussion? All in favor, opposed, so ordered. Ladies and gentlemen, this ordinance is to increase the minimum fine for anyone violating these ordinances from $100 to $250. So that's what we're doing. Does anyone wish to be heard on this? If not, I'll close the public portion of the meeting. May I have a motion on the agenda, please?
So
On
moved.
the ordinance.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy?
Second.
Mr. Boncino, discussion?
Yes, Mayor.
Yes.
I find it a little bit too much, from $100, we go to $250. I mean, what a way to increase the fine. I will vote no on this, because when you increase, you're not supposed to put more than double here. So I'm against this. That's what I have to say.
Mayor, if I may, a lot of these fines haven't been increased since 1961. That's why some of them look like they're doubled. If they would have been aggressively increased, we wouldn't have this problem.
I understand, but now,
They're still in line with most other towns.
yeah, but it doesn't justify it, because things are bad nowadays. People have no jobs, the economy is bad. All of a sudden, we hit them over 1 time and a half. I think it's a little increase, I don't mind, but this is too much.
Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
No,
Castiglia?
Yes.
Chawinski?
Yes.
Alonsino?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, tonight under the consent agenda, we have Resolution 152-10, support the repeal of Cayley's Law. Resolution 153-10, adopt the personnel policies and procedures manual for the Borough of Elmwood Park. Resolution 154-10, remove summer camp counselor in the recreation program, Dana DiBartolo, who has accepted another position elsewhere. Resolution 155-10, refund third-party tax lien, U.S. Bank Cust Pro Capital LLC. Resolution 156-10, approve cancellation of refund of tax balances. Resolution 157-10, authorize the tax collector to prepare and mail estimated third-quarter tax bills. Resolution 158-10, authorize the chief financial officer to enter an agreement for the participation in the New Jersey class program. Resolution 159-10, authorize the mayor and the borough clerk to sign the 2010-2011 snow plowing contract with the County of Bergen. Resolution 160-10, appoint volunteer firefighter company number 3, Michael Jones. Resolution 161-10, authorize the mayor and borough clerk to sign the settlement agreement and confidentiality statement with Arguel et al. Versus the Borough of Elmwood Park related to the 7-Eleven on Route 46. Resolution 162-10, approve the annual block party for East Washington Avenue. Resolution 163-10, authorize approval of premium only Section 1. And Resolution 164-10, renew the liquor license for the 2010-2011 license year.
Motion, please. Mr. Conboy, second.
Second.
Mr. Catamania, discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call for the consent agenda, council members Catamania?
Although, I'm sorry, Mayor, I had a question on 16310. Let's say if we vote no on this resolution, what would happen? Is this the law here, that everyone needs to pay 1.5? Why do we vote on this?
By law, we have to, Mr. Catamania.
Maybe you can answer?
163 that's the 1.5.
This resolution authorizes a cafeteria plan. What a cafeteria plan is, it enables the employee, once the 1.5% of that person's salary is put towards health benefits, that would be part of the tax exemption. It's before taxes. So what this does is this helps the employee when they're doing their tax returns in 2011.
Would it make any difference if we voted on this?
It would be hurting the employee by voting no, because they're already being hurt by having to pay towards their health benefits, which is brand new, as you know, through the governor's office.
Things are buying. Anyhow, that's about it.
Call the roll, please.
On roll call for the consent agenda, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Chawinski?
Yes.
Monsino?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, under resolutions this evening, we have Resolution 165-10. Whereas the bid opening committee did receive bids for the improvements to Molnar Drive on May 25th, 2010 at 11 a.m., and whereas the committee did receive the following bids pursuant to the advertisement for the above, the results are as follows. The low bidder was English Paving of Clifton, New Jersey. Base bid amount, $158,842.61. Alternate A was $24,171.60 for a total of $183,014.21. Whereas the borough has received an NJDOT local aid grant in the amount of $200,000 for this project, and whereas the borough engineer and the borough attorney have reviewed said bids and found that the base bid for plus alternate A submitted by English Paving complies with the specifications, and whereas a portion of the construction cost is to be reimbursed by the Altier Company to fulfill the requirement to pave half of Molnar Drive in front of their property. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the borough of Elmwood Park that the base bid plus alternate A submitted by English Paving in the amount of $183,014.21 be and the same are hereby awarded.
Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Conboy and Mr. Castiglia, any discussion?
I think that there is a mistake on the address of English Paving. I don't see there is a Route 4 West Clifton. Maybe it would have been 46?
I believe you're correct, Councilman.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll have that corrected with the engineer too, because this is taken right from their spreadsheet.
Any discussion? Molnar Drive is the link we have with Saddlebrook. It goes from Elmwood Park through to Saddlebrook. We're going to be paving that portion, as clerk indicated, with the assistance of Altier, the senior citizens area there, the over 55 program, and probably putting 4 or 5 car shops out of business. It's such a bad road with the bumps and everything else in it, but we had to let it settle. We finally have this grant, so it's not coming out of our budget. It'll be paved, and hopefully it'll begin end of July, early August. Now, it's indicated it should go up to approximately East 54th Street. With the bid that we received, we probably will go a little bit beyond East 54th Street to repave it, and we're going to be putting in for the same grant again next year. It's a Department of Transportation grant, and we'll finish up East 54th, Molnar Drive to the boulevard, and that'll take care of that terrible road. And then what I think the council will probably do is return to the boulevard, and we have 1 or 2 portions left of the boulevard to get that street paved. That's the street for the people who may not be from Elmwood Park. That goes from Garfield straight on through to Elmwood Park, and we've had 5 sections of that we've paid over the years with this grant. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Chawinski?
Abstain.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent appoint Julie McCauley to the Board of Health to fill the unexpired term of Angelo Castronovo, term ending December 31st, 2012.
Motion, please.
Actually, Mayor.
I'm sorry.
Resolution 166-10, be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Julie McCauley to the Board of Health for a period of 3 years to fill the unexpired term of Angelo Castronovo, term ending December 31st, 2012, be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy and Mr. Work, discussion? Call the roll.
On roll call, Councilmembers Catamania? Yes. Castiglia?
Yes.
Chawinski?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 16...
Ms. McCauley, will you please just raise your hand, stand up? Congratulations, and thank you for your volunteering. I did get a notice from Julie. She's on the Board of Health. If there's anyone who has a cold or has any other ailment, she will be ready to provide... No, that's not right, is it? No. Okay, I'm sorry.
Resolution 167-10, be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the following named be and is hereby appointed as Building Inspector, Plumbing Subcode Official, Civil Service Job Specification 07068 at the hourly rate of $30 per hour. James M. D. Padova of Elmwood Park, New Jersey.
Motion, please. So moved. Mr. Bonsino and Mr. Conboy. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Chawinski?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Conboy?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Motion
I'm already
carries.
reading 168.
Resolution 168-10, whereas Keith Kasmark was duly appointed and confirmed to the position of municipal clerk on June 21st, 2007, for a 3-year term in accordance with NJSA 40A:9-133 et set, and whereas Keith Kasmark is and has been certified as a registered municipal clerk since April 23rd, 2007, and has satisfied the continuing education requirements for said certification. And whereas whereas the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park is desirous of reappointing Keith Kasmark, RMC, as municipal clerk for the Borough of Elmwood Park, and whereas this reappointment has occurred within 60 days of the expiration of the 3-year term identified above. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park as follows. Keith Kasmark, RMC, is hereby reappointed to the position of municipal clerk in the Borough of Elmwood Park. And Keith Kasmark, RMC, is and has upon his reappointment attained tenure pursuant to NJSA 40A:9-133 et set. Be it further resolved that the municipal clerk's salary relative to the statutory duties of the municipal clerk shall be adjusted to the amount of $93,884, and the chief financial officer is hereby directed to amend the salary ordinance accordingly prior to introduction.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, second. Mr. Chawinski, discussion?
Yes, I have some discussion, Mayor. I've been thinking about this the last couple of weeks. I've written down some of my thoughts. I managed to put them together here. If everybody can bear with me, it might take me about 2 minutes
Lean into the microphone so you can hear me.
so I can get through this. My throat's a little scratchy, so be a little patient. First of all, I'd like to say that I believe Mr. Kasmark is an asset to this community. Keith does a fantastic job as municipal clerk and always acts in a professional manner. We discussed his new administrative duties and compensation at a work meeting in April. At a recent public meeting, we did vote unanimously in favor of Mr. Kasmark's raise for taking on the new administrative duties. Now it's time to vote on his tenure and a raise for acquiring it. I am having second thoughts on this additional raise. The raise last month worked out to be a little better than a 14% increase. As I said, that raise was for taking on additional duties, and I have no problem with it. However, this raise would represent an additional 14% for acquiring tenure as our municipal clerk. Mr. Kasmark has received annual increases in his municipal clerk position. Those raises are given at the end of each year. At the meeting in April, I wasn't expecting this item to be discussed, so I wasn't very well prepared. Now, that's not an excuse, it's a fact. It seemed to me that people were routinely given raises for reaching tenure. Since that meeting, I have asked questions of people who are more familiar with the subject. I now understand that a pay raise for acquiring tenure isn't as routine as I thought it was. In fact, it's kind of rare. We're in an economic environment right now where layoffs, pay freezes, and furloughs are a real possibility. We've asked department heads to cut budgets by 10% from last year. Positions are becoming vacant without a chance of being refilled. We've even gone as far as asking police officers who have earned promotions to defer their salary increases for 12 to 18 months, and they've agreed, realizing that money is tight. Many people are struggling to find or keep a job. More haven't gotten raises in years, and some are even asked to take a decrease in their salary. There are people right here in town who are losing their homes and putting them up for sale because of the financial crisis that we're in. As I said before, Mr. Kazmark does a terrific job, and he knows how I feel about him. But I don't feel that this is the time for what I consider a merit raise. It's not the right time. I know I agreed with the poll that was taken, but since then I've changed my mind. The resolution we're voting on is a combination of granting tenure to our municipal clerk and increasing his salary at the same time. I'm split on this resolution. I would vote yes in a heartbeat to keep Keith as our clerk and to grant him tenure immediately, right now. But I can't vote yes on this increase for the reasons that I've stated. Now, if there's a way to split this resolution, I would be in favor of it. I would ask for a motion in some way that we can split the resolution, and like I said, I would vote on Keith right now as being our clerk. But I can't go both ways. Would I be able to make that motion?
Mr. Castiglia, the only way I can see it is if you take it, the last paragraph, be it further resolved that the municipal clerk's salary ordinance, ask that to be deleted, and we'll just vote on the first part of the ordinance, which is simply granting him the tenure. If that's what you want, you'd need a motion to delete that last
I would
paragraph.
like to make a motion to delete the last paragraph.
Motion made by Mr. Castiglia, second? No second. Any other discussion?
Yes, Mayor, if I may.
Yes,
We-
Mr.
We've
Schultz.
won a couple rounds on this months before in the work sessions, and I'm a little bit bewildered at Larry's being befuddled that he doesn't remember how much we increased for the tenure or how much how it related to the administrative duties. We picked up an administrator for $12,000, people. $12,000. Go to most towns and see if you can find an administrator for $12,000. Impossible.
I said I had no problem with that.
Excuse me, Larry, I'm talking. Mr. Chair, can you tell me I have the floor?
You don't have to tell me, I can run the meeting.
And on the other hand, too, we presented, and I saw it, one work meeting was a schedule of about 13 towns with ranges from 6,300 residents all the way up to 16,000 residents, with an average being approximately 10,777 residents, with an average salary for the same job, clerk administrator, with about $112,000, plus benefits and everything else. Now, bear in mind, people, that our town is 18,000 and change in people. If you equate this on a per-person basis, that salary would come to $213,000. Your much larger towns have an administrator and a clerk separate, which well in the $200,000 range. So I'm still a little bewildered at this, but in all honesty, I don't think we'll find a better clerk. I've known him for the last few years. I find him to be one of the most professional, and I don't want to lose him. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
I just wanted to make a point that recently we worked, the mayor and council, to craft an ordinance to add administrative functions to our municipal clerk's duties. And in doing so, we eliminated the position of administrator, which was on our rolls from a previous administration, and I think that was a very positive step forward. But more importantly, we recognize that our current clerk possessed the capabilities to effectively administrate the inner workings of this town. And in my year-and-a-half tenure as a councilman, I found our clerk, Mr. Kazmark, to be nothing but professional and on the mark in terms of his running of our government, kind of behind the scenes, if you will. So I am in support of this ordinance, and I wish him the best of luck going forward.
Any other discussion? What I'm going to say is maybe repetitious from what Mr. Castiglia said, and I did it when Mr. Kazmark was given the extra duties as being administrator. We never had an administrator in this town. I've been mayor 39 years. We had, we had an administrator for 2 years, and that was a disaster. We haven't had an administrator since. The clerk handled all that responsibility, and we gave the clerk that indication that he or she at the time could do that. So it was a $12,000 raise to do the administrative duties, and the only new duty that he took on was, there was only one new duty, to be able to suspend somebody, if necessary, up to 4 days. So we gave him $12,000 for that. The tenure situation, please bear in mind, I see a lot of Keith's friends here, this has no bearing on Keith, on how he handled the job. However, tenure is a plus in itself. There's no need to give a salary increase because someone's gaining tenure. I was a teacher for many years. I got tenure. They said congratulations, and I walked out the door. I didn't get a raise. If you're here in Elmwood Park, you get tenure. There's no guarantee you should get a raise. $11,000, in my estimation, is too large when we're trying to tighten the budget. As was indicated, he just got a $12,000 raise. Prior to that, that's $23,000. That's more than some people are earning in some jobs. This should be discussed with the department head contract when it comes up, and we put everybody in the same boat. We're now going to give a large increase, and I wonder if the other department heads are going to come in and request similar type increases. I think it makes it difficult for us. This increase makes negotiating with other employees who may get minimal requirements, minimal salary increases. The governor's asking us to take 2.5% other raises, and this equals 30%, these two raises. A police sergeant, as was indicated by Mr. Castiglia, is going to be appointed later this month or later this month. He's going to wait 18 months to get a $10,000 raise because of the promotion, and he was willing to do that. I think we have to do some mind searching and say just how much can the town afford. 30% increase for the two jobs at one time is substantial. And I think it's wrong and gives the wrong opinion to people in Elmwood Park who are struggling to keep their homes, their budgets, and everything else that they have because of the economy in order. I was going to suggest that we remove the salary ordinance from this tenure, but that obviously is not going to happen. I am perfectly in sync with the council in giving Mr. Kazmark tenure. I think he's done a good job, but now he's permanent. He's permanent, and I think that should go without an $11,000 increase. And I think I'm being chastised by Keith's little boy, Alexander, sitting in the audience, so I'll keep quiet. Call roll, please.
On roll call.
Hold on, Mayor, one more thing. Let me just...
Yes.
I don't think you should equate a clerk/administrator to one department head, because he's in charge of all your department heads, basically, here, Mayor. And as far as a policeman, the policeman at this time is making more than our clerk. You realize that, Mayor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But that's the salary ordinance that's given to
I understand the
us.
salary, but that's what we're going to change. And to say that an administrator was only here 2 years, let me tell you something. Sometimes in city halls it shows, to be honest with you. And I'm disappointed you feel that way, Mayor.
I'm disappointed. You want to give out a $23,000 raise in 1 year.
Mayor, back it up.
No, wait a minute.
It's
Wait a minute. You want to charge
for
that?
an administrator
Mr.
position.
Chewinski, you're out of order.
You don't have the
You want
I
to-
had the floor, Mayor.
No,
I had the floor.
you let it go. You let it go, and I took it.
I was talking, wasn't I, folks?
No, you took a deep breath and I jumped in.
Thank you.
Okay? I thought we were going to be a much more frugal organization in handling raises. Police officer is getting promoted to be a sergeant. That automatically comes with a $10,000 raise. He's willing to give it up for 18 months to get that increase. So I think that whether his salary is higher than Mr. Kazmark's, in fact, the police department have salaries higher than anybody in the community. Any public employee does not reach the salary the police department does. So I don't think you can relate that. Otherwise, we're going to have binding arbitration.
I think a different matter.
Excuse me,
We
Mr.
can't make that
Chewinski? Excuse me? Excuse me? Okay, I don't think you can relate that since the police have binding arbitration, and maybe we can hold them down this year with the new governor's edict. Call the roll,
Not
please.
done yet, Mayor.
May I make a
May I have-
comment, Mayor?
Yes,
May I have the floor
Mr.
for-
Conboy.
Thank you, Mayor. Folks, this may on the surface seem like a substantial increase and so forth. We respect all of our department heads, we respect all of our employees, and I as finance chair, certainly appreciate, as well as the whole council, all the hard work all of our department heads are putting into it. I don't want to discuss whether an employee decides to defer some of his or hers raise. I can only speak tonight about our clerk. Our clerk has been handling all these duties. These are not duties that he's just going to be taking on as of tonight or as of last meeting. These are duties that have been out of his norm, outside of his job responsibilities. He's been taking on these responsibilities from the moment he practically walked in through the door. And he's worked very hard for this municipality. Whether or not the Community News decides to run a story on this, I know I was interviewed for it, and as this whole council has suffered through this, and all of you out there as well through these tough times, I know I could speak probably the hardest because I was out of work for 15 months. And it'll probably need another 15 months before my family and I can catch up. And my wife's also a school teacher who's being targeted every day. So it is difficult, and she's not at the high pay of the scale either. So it is difficult, but I do know that this process started back in November. We spent a lot of time on this process. As Councilman Chewinski mentioned, we looked at over 16 other towns. We looked at comparisons of who we are, our form of government, compared to theirs, their population, the salary. These other 16 towns, the clerk handles both responsibilities as well. We looked at their ordinances. We must have went through at least 8 or 10 drafts of an ordinances to get to this point. We as a council asked our clerk to give us his recommendations. He's done that on a couple of occasions, explaining the different salaries and so forth. And also in his time of being here, he has been a part of some of the major contracts that we've done here. He played a major role in our new solid waste contract, which over 5 years should net us somewhere in the neighborhood of about $600,000 in savings over the next 5 years. He has brought in, for whatever reason, our new and used car licenses renewals were not being picked up. That's another $16,000 that is brought into the borough. And during this difficult economical times, we have seen the elimination or retirement of several department heads, which at the end of the day equals somewhere in the neighborhood of another $400,000 in salaries and benefits and so forth, that through his supervision here at Borough Hall has been able to manage a staff and by not replacing those bodies. So certainly he is doing, I mean this for all the residents of Elmwood Park, whatever you may read in the future newspapers or what you may get off this tape tonight, I certainly feel that he has earned the point he is at. I thought, and I respect Councilman Castiglia's position as well. It is a little tough to swallow, but when you look at the things of what's been happening here and what hard work he's put into it to keep us efficiently running with a much smaller staff and so forth, and handling all the job duties, I feel he has earned this particular increase at this time. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any other discussion? My comments are not against Mr. Kaczmarek. My comments and Mr. Castiglia's against the increases in salary. What I think should happen, quite frankly, is all those other communities, some with 6,000, 7,000 people in it, in Bergen County, have a clerk and an administrator. Maybe they should look at us and say, get rid of the administrator. Get rid of the administrator. This one town is paying $126,000 for an administrator, $90,000 for a clerk. That's ridiculous. You talk about school superintendents getting paid too much. Maybe they should look at cutting back, and we should continue to cut back and give the raises that are responsible and prudent for Elmwood Park. I'm a stingy guy. Always have been. This is my modus operandi.
Frugal, Lord.
Thank you, guys. Frugal.
Mayor, if I may?
No, I'm not finished yet. So that is my statement. That's where I think we should be going and not giving out $11,000 raises for tenure. Mr. Truinsky.
Done?
Yes, I am.
Just for the record, when you say...
Oh, wait, I may not be after you finish.
When you say about the one town, in reference to a 6,000 population, they had a $90,000 clerk and a $120,000 administrator?
Yes.
The reference, I think that's wrong. The total was $126,000 for the two jobs.
No.
Yes. I had the paper up in my briefcase if you want to say it, Mayor. Only the towns that started to get up to 16,000 and over, did they have two positions?
No,
For the record.
there's some towns that are quite small and have a clerk and an administrator, Mr.
At
Truinsky.
6,300, Mayor?
Yes.
Can you tell me what towns those are?
I'm not going to go into that, embarrass
All
the
right, thank
towns
you.
at this
All
time.
right, I make a motion that we reappoint the municipal clerk.
That's already been done, Mr. Truinsky. That's what we're talking
I
about.
thought we were going to vote.
Call roll, please.
On roll call, council members Katamanya? Yes. Castiglia?
Abstain.
Truinsky?
Yes.
Paulsino?
Yes.
Work? Yes. Conway?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Congratulations.
I would like to congratulate Mr. Kazmark. First thing I want him to do is start negotiating all our contracts because he's the best negotiator we have. So maybe he can do that.
You want to swear me in, or you want
Sure, you have it? Yeah.
watching my skirt? Keith, you will be treating at the diner tonight? Probably every Thursday now?
Right hand.
I, Keith Kazmark,
I, Keith Kazmark,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and
to
allegiance
the same
and
and to the governments established in the United States
to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people,
And I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
and justly perform
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
municipal clerk
of municipal clerk
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Good job ahead of time. Good to get you working on a percentage. Congratulations, pal.
Committee reports? Do we have anything else? Go ahead.
Mayor, under reports tonight, we have the report for the building department for the month of May.
Motion, please, to accept?
Second.
It's Mr. Conboy and Mr. Work. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? So ordered.
Committee reports.
Mr. Catamagna, we'll start on your end.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, first night, they give the awards to the senior class graduating this year, and I was very happy to be part of one of the teacher to give some of the awards to my students. And I was very happy to see so many kids, and we do have a lot of intelligent kids in our school, and nice kids. I know each one of them, and they have a lot of respect, and I know I will miss many of them, and I was so proud to give the awards, and also the ceremony was excellent. I thank you for your presence there, they like that. And this is a part of being a teacher, you get a little bit emotional when you see good students leave, and I'm very happy about my job. I realize many times I go home very upset, but this lesson was great, and it made me feel good and sad. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chewinski.
Yes, Mayor. Congratulations, Keith.
Thank you, sir.
I forgot that.
All's quiet at the fire department for a change. And the JIF meeting, again, they brought up about the sidewalks. I belong to the JIF. I'm on the Claims Committee for the Joint Insurance Fund. My disclosure papers have been finally handed in too, Keith. But they did bring up that they're doing something with city sidewalks that we are responsible as residents. And there seems to be, every time someone falls on your sidewalk, which is part of the borough's on the right-of-way, the town has been dragged into lawsuits continuously. And right now, the self-insurance people are looking to crafting ordinances for all the towns to have people repair their sidewalks because of the many, many times they've been dragged in illegally. And I'm just warning that's coming down the pike, and we'll have to address it at some point. On another note, I finally learned what all their abbreviations mean on their claims committee. They have tons of abbreviations and secret codes for lawsuits that are pending. Last night I attended the freeholder meeting, and Tom Padilla has stepped down because he took over the position as Hackensack chief, and he told me to say hello to the mayor, who he knew for many years there on the freeholder board, and surprisingly got along with him.
He listened to me. He listened to me. Excuse me, let me tell you why he got along with you. I had his wife in school as a counselor.
That's what he said, something like that. And if you want to know what's happening at your freehold, this is going to be a sore spot for our mayor, because I said, boy, if he was here last night, he would have blew his stack. Over Peck Park, Mayor, Phase 2, $14,200,000 allocated. This is an $80 million park that's been a fiasco since they started it, and our mayor's been adamant against it. As a matter of fact, they almost throw us out of the freeholder meeting when we go there. And another $4 million for various capital improvements to the park. So you've got another $20 million out the window. And this should complete it, in all honesty. This
What's
will
the
make
total?
about $20 million, another 20.
But the total is close to $100 million.
Yes. And if anybody wants to see how your money's spent at the county level, this is about 20 pages of lawyers. I pay to play, I would say some in here, I'm not sure, but all kinds of things in here that you would be amazed at the money they spent. And last night, they did decrease their budget, I think, by about $6. And the only reason they did that was they took their Green Acres funding from 1 penny down to a quarter of a penny. And that was it.
You mean open space?
Open space. Thank you, Mayor. I'll leave this for any of the public that want to see these things.
Thank you. Mr. Castiglione?
Yeah, just a few items, Mayor. The 60 trees were delivered down to the DPW yard for this year's tree planting program. It's going to be the same as it was last year. We have the pear trees. They bloom in white. We have the purple leaf plums, which bloom in pink. Most people put in their requests already for trees, so we're filling those orders first. Planting should probably start on Monday. The DPW will be in touch with these people. Whoever's expecting a tree, the DPW, if they haven't been in touch with you already, they'll be in touch with you soon, because the planting's going to start on Monday. Water main flushing also will begin on Monday. Some sediment collects in the pipes, and they have to be flushed out at least twice a year. That's so we can get the highest quality drinking water that's possible to get anyway. The whole process to get the whole town done is going to probably take about 12 days. The DPW also has been busy making sure that the spray ground is in good working order and ready to go for Community Day, which is Saturday. So everybody make sure you come down here Saturday afternoon and spend a little time with us. That should be a thrill. They put some mulch down at Birchwood Park. They've been out there doing that. And there's other parks on the list that still need to be done. That's the mulch, the special mulch around the playground equipment. They got a name for it. I think they call it wood carpeting or something like that. And Thursday, the 10th, next week, there's a pre-construction meeting on the Mulner Drive that you were talking about before. So they have that pre-construction meeting on that repaving. That's Thursday. So the work should be starting pretty soon over there. The water main work has been completed over on Kip Avenue, for Kip Avenue Phase 2. So the paving on that roadway is scheduled to start in the summer, most likely August. And that's it, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Ward?
Yes, Mr. I want to congratulate Keith on his reappointment first.
Thank you.
Second, as you know, the Elmwood Park Board of Health continues to offer free clinics, three free clinics. The first one is the H1N1 clinic. The next date for that is June 7th, 2010, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., held in a courtroom in the municipal building. The second free clinic is the Adult Consultation Clinic, and that's going to be held in June 15th, 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. in the municipal building. And those two first clinics are walk-in residents are welcome, no appointments are required. The third free clinic is the free child health care clinic, which the next date on that is June 7th, 2010, from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the municipal building. The Elmwood Park Department of Health also has been enrolled as a provider in the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act program, which will provide 6 vaccines for any citizen in New Jersey, regardless of insurance or non-insurance. And the Elmwood Park Department of Health is planning to give these 6 vaccines at no charge for Elmwood Park residents. And these range from Gardasil, Adacil, Boostrex, Pneumovax, Zostavax, and Prevnar 13. And they prevent a range of different items. First, they prevent tetanus, diphtheria, and their booster vaccine. Boostrex is a vaccine used to prevent diphtheria and tetanus. Pneumovax prevents pneumonia. Zostavax prevents shingles, and Prevnar prevents serious invasive pneumonia. So these are all items that the Elmwood Park Department of Health is planning to make available for the Elmwood Park residents and the rest of the New Jersey residents. Also, just a little tip, the Elmwood Park Department of Health was audited by a representative from the New Jersey Department of Health, and I'm very happy to tell you that we successfully passed that audit with no major comments and omissions regarding the public health. So you know the Elmwood Park Board of Health is doing a great job. I'd like to congratulate Debbie Ritchie and Michelle and Rosalino for a job well done in that department. Also, I want to remind residents of Elmwood Park, we got a vote next week, next Tuesday, 2010 primary. So don't forget to your right to vote. And just also remind everybody, I know the fire department's planning to have a retirement luncheon for Jack McGrath. He served this town fantastic. I mean, just want to really thank him for his service to this town and this country. But they're having a retirement luncheon for him on Sunday, June 6th at the Fire Company number 2. And finally, Mr. Mayor, the next homeowners meeting is set for June 30th. The homeowners meetings is held at the American Legion, and the meeting starts at 7:30 p.m. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Conboy?
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I'd just like to again congratulate Keith on all his accolades here for tonight. I want to congratulate all of his family members that are here and all of his people from his council and from all the other people from Woodland Park that are here supporting him tonight. Thanks for coming out tonight, and again, Keith, and to Lauren, and to Alex, congratulations on your family's success. Also just want to continue to update everybody. We continue to work diligently on the budget. As it's been talked about here quite a bit tonight, a little bit. We will continue doing what we have to do in that budget cycle. As I continue to tell folks, whether it's here at this meeting or out at the street corner or at the deli picking up lunch, we continue to look at everything. Inside the box, outside the box, off the page, on the page, everywhere. Mr. Rigatano was sitting over there, our CFO there in the corner, right next to our order, Mr. Lurch. That's a good thing or a bad thing. But they both know all the hard work we're putting into it, because not just looking at this year, we've already started looking at 2011, and some of the ramifications of things that are happening every day here in our borough that our borough attorney is working on as far as new tax assessments and so forth. So we're actually equating that into our formula as well for this year and for the 11 budget. So we keep working on that. I'm very excited about the program, the road program. We continue to move on that. As you heard us talk about that tonight. I'm very excited about Molnar Drive. We've been working on that for a while. I'm glad that that's finally coming to be done, as well as about the page kind of got cut in half, but there's about 16 spots that we're going to be paving this year, as well as last year. We did about the same in the year prior. This council has made sure that we've done that every year. I think 1 year or 2 years we missed the road program, so we've been on top of that to make sure the roads are nice and smooth for everybody. On recreational front, just want to remind everybody again about Community Day is on Saturday, the 5th, so please do not forget to come on out and have a great time for all those that are here that haven't seen the signs already. We've got a great day already set up for that. I want to remind everybody again that catches this on TV or on the web, or the folks that are sitting here in town, don't forget our summer camp registration is ongoing. I got a report, an update yesterday that right now, based on the number of children that are registered, and as everybody always knows, there's always that flurry at the end before registration is up, that you get the majority of your folks. They always sign up late or towards the end of registration closeout. We are, based on that and the numbers we have right now, we will surpass the highest number we've probably ever had for summer camp, Mr. Mayor. So our summer camp is going to hit an all-new high this year if things continue the way they are. Also, just want to remind everybody again, don't forget, we now have registration online for all of our great programs. As a convenience for all of our residents, this is something new. As you've heard me talk about it for a while, it's been also covered in the news. Just want to keep reminding everybody not to forget about the online registration. You do it right from home. And if you don't have a computer, don't forget we've got two stations set up at the Recreation Center for you to go right online and do that. And I don't have the flyer, but also, folks, don't forget soccer, soccer, soccer. Soccer is one of our biggest sports programs. Registration is ongoing. Keep making sure you check your child's backpack for all that information on soccer. Please get in so we make sure we have everybody registered. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Conboy. Mr. Boncino?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. First, I would also like to congratulate Keith on his reappointment, and also thank him again for updating some of the paperwork and spelling my name correctly and all the paper that flowed by us this week. On Monday, I had the opportunity to participate in Memorial Day ceremonies in town, and I was honored to be part of that and pay respect to our servicemen and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice in defending our freedoms and our way of life. I'd also like to thank our veterans and also our current servicemen and women for their continued support of our Constitution and our way of life. Our police department and our PBA, in conjunction with the governing body, will be holding a first annual Junior Police Academy in July, the week of July 12th, and it's open to rising 7th and 8th graders. And I'd like to just take the opportunity to briefly read an excerpt from the press release that went out this past week. The Elmwood Park Police Department is very proud to announce the first annual Junior Police Academy. The Academy is open to all Elmwood Park residents that have successfully completed the 6th or 7th grade school year. The Junior Police Academy is designed to show students the training and preparation that goes into making of a new police officer. The objective of the Academy is to promote an environment where students learn the basic principles of respect, discipline, teamwork, motivation, and dedication to a greater cause, accomplished through exciting, enjoyable classroom and physical activities. Each student will gain a comprehensive understanding of the laws that govern our country and the legal process that protects its citizens. Working together toward one common goal is the theme of the Academy. The students will start the week as a group of individuals and complete the program as one team. So we're looking forward to a very good turnout this first year, and we're hoping that this is something that will carry forward into the future and be available to the youth of our community for years to come. So if you see the press release and you have somebody that's in that age group, certainly point them toward the program. I think it's a good way to spend the week in the summer. And just a final note about some of our energy activities. PSE&G should be scheduling our upgrades to our lighting at our municipal building, library, rec center, and DPW shortly. So that project will be underway in the month of June. And the New Jersey SAM electric audit should take place tomorrow if it goes on schedule. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Giblin?
No report.
Thank you. Mr. Czerwinski indicated about the open space program in the county. The major park that they're conducting or completing, the Overpeck Park, is going to cost, as he indicated, upward of 80, maybe 90, $100,000. They've taken... Million, I'm sorry. They've taken $8 million out of the open space program and used it for that park. Bergen County doesn't pay into the open space program. Communities pay into it. Now, what we have to do, if we want to get an open space grant, we have to apply for it. If we want $50,000 in the grant, we have to match it with $50,000. Bergen County just took $8 million out. They don't pay into it. Something wrong. I was there when this ordinance was established, and it wasn't established to be a pot that the county can keep dipping their hand into and getting additional money to have a park. The problem we're having is that we have a piece of land in town that the county owns, and we're talking about them giving us the property because they don't have the equipment and manpower to take care of that. So we have the woods. They're putting $100 million, and we have the woods, and we're still arguing with them. As Mr. Truinsky indicated, I sometimes get exasperated when I go down to the county freeholder meetings and ask those kinds of questions. They can't keep up with what they're doing, and they're still taxing us more. When the open space program was first begun, I was on the freeholder board. We had what was called a sunset law. After 5 years, if you didn't need it, it should sunset. They gained control, it's not sunset, just keeps going. Just keep getting money, we keep paying. And we pay approximately $250,000, $260,000, no, $270,000 I think it is. Is that correct, Roy? $270,000 a year for the open space program. So we pay that in tax. Then if we want money to help us do something in town with the open space program, we have to pay 50/50. So if we're paying $280,000, we want $100,000, we have to, it's costing us $230,000 to get 50 back. I don't want to go down to Atlantic City and bet with those kinds of odds. I'll come in out a loser all the time. So I think the county has to look at their program, and maybe they have to put a sunset law on that and stop dipping into the open space program constantly when they don't pay into it. At this time, I would like to move that we have appointing Mr. Tom Conboy to the open space program as our representative. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia and Mr. Truinsky, call the roll, please.
On roll call to appoint Councilman Conboy to the County Open Space Committee. Council members Catamagna?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Chewinski?
Yes.
Rosino?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Conboy.
And I would,
Motion carries.
No choice, Tom.
and I would like to appoint myself as an alternate in case Tom can't make it. And since I'm very familiar with the program, can I have a motion to do that, please?
That means we're going together?
Last time I went, I think I surprised you. Yes, we're going together.
I know.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Castiglia, second by Mr. Vocino. Call the roll, please.
On roll call to appoint Mayor Mola as the alternate for the County Open Space Committee. Council members Catamagna?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Chewinski?
Yes.
Monsino?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mr. Catamagna, that wasn't a very effusive...
I was joking.
Yes. I know, you choked on it. I'd like to open up the meeting to the public. If there's anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard? Yes, ma'am. Name and address, please.
Hi, I'm Estelle Mondello, 36.
Estelle, you're not the Queen of England. I don't see just a hat. Put the microphone down. Thank you, dear.
This sign usually says don't touch the mic. I just realized that, okay. Estelle Mondello, 36 Franklin Street. And I want to take this opportunity to congratulate Mr. Kazmart on his reappointment and to thank the council for giving him tenure because he has been very helpful to us. I'm also the municipal chair of the Democratic Party in Elmwood Park, and every time I've gone to the office or made a phone call to Keith because I had a question or I needed information, he was always helpful, always took the time to give me the information. If he didn't have the information, he would always get back to me in a very timely manner, usually that same day, sometimes the next morning. So I thank him very much for his service, and I thank all of you. Thank you.
Anyone else who wishes to be heard? Yes, sir.
Victor.
Before I start, I want to hand something out.
Address for the record?
Oh, yeah. Victor Mikulovsky and 8 Augusta Street. Before I start, I have like a little presentation here, but part of it's just I want you guys to make sure what's going on during the presentation, not lost, whatever, so I took the time to print out, and so you guys be a little bit more organized, and I'll be a little bit more organized.
Right, as you say, we're going to lower that a little bit.
You can continue.
Okay, and also, before I start, you guys are talking about the freeholder meeting. When's the next one, and where is it?
When is the next one?
Freeholder meeting.
They're the first and third Wednesdays, and they're in the Administration Building in Hackensack.
And is there like a public portion in there, right?
There is.
And can I speak?
Early.
I can speak also, right? There's no age limit, right?
No,
No?
There shouldn't be.
no. Some of them are, Mayor, if I may,
Yes.
one week they have a work meeting combination public meeting. One, it's at, I think it's 5 and 7:30. 5 is the work meeting, it's 7:30, or 4 and 7:30. 4 is the work meeting, 7:30 is the public. And the next Wednesday, they'll have just a pure work meeting at 5 o'clock. But you can, Bergen County has a website for it too, if you want to check, or call me, I have it on my calendar.
That's good. And also, before I start my presentation here, last work meeting, you guys were talking about the resource officer and who's going to be paying what. I took the time also to talk to some board members and the principal of my school and talk to him about the situation. I asked him if he was pretty open about it, like trying to negotiate something. You know, he's like, yeah, we're going to start talking about it, but you guys had the letter and it didn't feel like it was very open to it. Can you guys like meet together sometime, the council, and like maybe some board members and talk about the resource officer and the salary, how you guys going to pay it, like 80%, 20%, you know what I mean? Like, you have to take a time to do face-to-face. Like, the letter thing is not working out, I think.
Through you, Mayor, I had a conversation with Mr. Moffett, the school board administrator / board secretary, on Tuesday. He indicated to me that he spoke to Mr. Tomko, the incoming superintendent of schools, and also to Ms. Pellegrin, who's the board president, and that they are both interested in sitting down with a committee of the council after July 1st, once Mr. Tomko assumes the responsibilities as superintendent of schools.
Okay, that's good. Now let's start the little presentation I have. It's basically on part of Chewinski's sidewalk thing about its uplifting and all the damages around the town, and something needs to be done about it. So over the past few weeks, I went around the whole town again and took pictures of the sidewalks, and most of the pictures are very severely, not the pictures, but the sidewalks are very severely damaged, you know. And I took some out, and I picked the serious ones, the most severely damaged ones, and I'm going to show it to you right about now. So the first thing we have here is between Linden and Franklin. You guys can have these photos later.
Suggest is you gave us this copy.
Yeah.
You gave us the photos, and we'll review each one of those separately. We have a lot of people who may want to speak also, so instead of going over that individually now, just give us all the photos and we'll match them up.
Can I just like quickly maybe do 3 or 4? Yeah. Okay. So this is one, it's between Linden and Franklin. Is this good for you here? Right, perfect. And then it's on the boulevard, and it's 2 separate parts. It's basically uplifted, and it's pretty big, you know, going up. Sooner or later, somebody's going to get hurt on this one and many other ones. So someone's going to get hurt, and like Chewinski said, they're going to do a lawsuit against the town. You know, we're going to lose money on it, you know, and then the residents, we don't want these lawsuits. Might as well fix it now before we have to worry about it later. It's pretty bad in certain spots. Let me just tell you a story really quick. My grandmother injured herself, not here, but in Rhode Island, when they had these uplifted sidewalks, and it's pretty bad, and we can't do anything about it. Now, another picture here is, I skipped all the way up to 9, on Cole Street in front of the House of 3, right? The sidewalks are also being uplifted, and this one's pretty bad. And you guys can look at this one. This one's amazing how it came out to be. And look for this one. This one caught my eye, pretty interesting, how big the crack was in the sidewalk. This one's the second one, I'm sorry, I skipped so far down there. It's between Orchard Street and Louis Street on the boulevard, and it's a big long crack right across the sidewalk. Also, it's being uplifted by the tree next to it. And I don't think the sidewalk's going to be there in a couple of years. And also, I think that's also needs to be talked to the residents about it, to be fixed. Then the last one and one more is on, I don't know if I'm saying this correct, Beechwood Ave, and it's in front of house 26. The sidewalk is uplifted, like, again, it's like going like this.
That picture? That's my house.
That's your house?
Yes.
Your sidewalk is being like this and it's going up
No,
to
no,
the
it's
sky.
not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Not that bad.
I nearly tripped over it, so, you know, it's pretty bad. Seriously, that's your house?
Excuse me?
That's your house there, not
That's
joking
my
around?
house,
Wow.
that's my tree, and I'm afraid of losing the tree. Public service came by and put a cannon shell right through the middle of the tree, and I may have to go anyway.
He's a former mayor, cheap.
And then the last picture here is basically of a boy on a skateboard on the street. Now, before he drove by and I caught up to him later, I was like, why are you not going on the sidewalk? You're not even wearing a helmet. You're going to get hit by a car. You know, it's like, well, I don't want to go on the sidewalk because it's already bumpy. You know, I'm going to have to stop, pick my skateboard up again. So, you know, you're going to get kids on the street, maybe even adults on the street. They're going to get hit by a car sooner or later because they don't want to go on the sidewalk. You know, and I even see with the mothers with the strollers, you know, the baby. They have to pick up the stroller, some of them go on the street and wait until the other driveway. Something's going to happen here, and it's going to be pretty bad, you know. So let's just try to get at least the boulevard looked at, you know, because that's a main, like, street down there, so at least it'll be looked at. And that's it. I'll give you guys the pictures. You can look at it. I'm really surprised that's your house.
When you have an opportunity, you come over and maybe the two of us can lift it up, cut the roof.
Like, together, yep.
That's rough.
I make a motion, we make Victor sidewalk inspector.
Anyone else who wish to be heard? Yes, sir.
Find out where I live.
It's tough being mayor sometimes. You can't.
Minister Thunder Roof on Noker, 8 Orbital Avenue, Elmwood Park. I'm glad to see, a couple of weeks ago, I gave a presentation in Garfield regarding the hexavalent chromium contamination. On the way home, I met a group of youthful fellows and told them that this is your country. This is your government. You're going to be leading it someday. And I told them, yes, you can make a change. You can, as a matter of fact, I told them, yes, you can fight City Hall. Everything that people tell me you can't. Anyway, this fellow here, Mazel Tov. All right, because I didn't talk to you, and here you are. So keep up the good work. Don't ever give up. While we're on the issue of safety, in this beautiful township of Elmwood Park, specifically in the Cherry Hill section, we have two major life-threatening, health-threatening situations. One is at 8 Orbital Avenue, where I live. The building is crumbling, and for the first time in my life, I've been giving public speeches since the 70s. This is the first time I ever forgot something, but I'm running on overtired. I forgot the pictures, but from what I just heard, you don't have the time anyway, so I'll deliver them. And I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, that I didn't bring them to your office. I can't get through your secretary. I know you're busy, but I have over 4,000 photos of very dangerous situations and circumstances at and behind and inside 8 Orbital Avenue, and also across the street at 9 Orbital Avenue. How much time do I have, gentlemen?
I think the people here are looking to congratulate Mr. Kazmark, so I don't know, you have...
Okay, so I figure this is going to take at least 3 council meetings, so I'll keep it short.
Well, let me tell you, if you have a problem, you go to the building department or the Board of Health, and they will resolve your problem.
I have.
I do know that you have a problem with some of your neighbors next door, and there's been some mediation with that, but I hope that's worked out.
Charlie, the building inspector, I had called him some time back because last year he cited a great big mound of wood and debris and rubbish that was in the rear behind the garage and around and about. I called him without even, at that point, before even calling the owner of the property, I called Charlie and explained to him that I'm the tenant, but I've been working to clear it out, including but not limited to a heavy water heater that kind of has the hernia almost ready to burst. But anyway, I called him sometime this past winter, near the end of winter, and told him, I can't do it. I'm going to be 60 years old in September. I have health issues of my own. My wife just was diagnosed with cancer. I can't do it. He came to the house one day, and it was right after it snowed. For whatever reason, he says to me, I'm not going back there. Call me in the spring. All right, another event, just most recently, this gentleman, he finds it more important, the level, the height of a low step that has been probably with this building for the past 40 years.
We have about 3 minutes and the tape runs out.
Well, anyway, I'm going to bring these to your office. And if, I realize you might be too busy to see me, I will leave them with the secretary, and then you can let whoever see them. Charlie is not doing his job, sir and gentlemen. He's looking the other way for whatever reasons. As I stand here now, there are 5 gallons of gasoline between 2 buildings at 9 Opal Avenue, and this is a day-by-day event. Many times between the 2 buildings, not in the back, where a woman flicks a cigarette, and if one of these cigarettes ever lands on these cans and burns its way through, it's not the gas that will explode, but the gas above the liquid. It's very dangerous. You have children living 2 doors away and across the street. I would appreciate it. Charlie's not doing his job, sir. Somebody needs to look at these situations.
We'll check on that.
And, I'll try to do up a report, a full synopsis and mail it, bring it in. But this whole situation over there needs to be looked at.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anyone else who wishes to be heard? Yes, sir. Oh, that's it. Just hold on. We're going to have a short break to get the tape.
Change the tape.
No, no, stay there.
Okay. Mayor, good afternoon.
You ready? Okay, go ahead.
My name is Paul Castelli. I live on 80 Main Avenue. And I have a situation here with the warehouse in the back of me. Used to be National Book Binder Embassy. Now, for the last few years, or 3 or 4 years, have been owned by a storage company, moving company. I thought I solved the problems 20 years ago. Unfortunately, they come back again. Before, there was like a Nissan parking lot there. We got them out. That didn't work. So they moved a landscaper business. It was very noisy, everything. We got them out. Then the owner decided to put tractor trailers, parking lot for tractor trailers. That didn't work. We got them out. Now we got the tractor trailers going back in and out again, which when I solved 20 years ago with the EPA and they stay involved was that Franklin, they were supposed to come in from Franklin Street, which is an entrance there. That entrance was there on purpose since 1988. It was never there before. So they could come in from Franklin Street and stay away from their homes right in back of us. But now, you stop one thing, they got another one. Now we got tractor trailers, they park there 20 minutes, half hour, running until the base, they open in the back. And then they go back and forth all day long.
What street is this?
It's 80 Main Avenue. National Book Binding, the white building, right about big warehouse, and now it's owned by, every time they change owners, we'll go back to square one.
Well, excuse me for interrupting. We had this before. Are they in the fire lane there?
Yes, it's supposed to be fire lane. I guess they passed the fire lane, but they still cannot, the guy seems to be spiteful. He knows, for one, he does four things. Car, Nissan, the landscaper, he failed in every place. You know, and he keeps something new every time.
I thought the fire marshal straight...
I don't know, I thought I'm gonna go out of the council here to be able to help me. We have to go back with the lawyers, EPA, state.
It was
We
resolved.
thought, first I'm here, because I know they pulled the file, and Jack McGrath went down there and gave him a violation. They got out of the fire lane. But evidently, there's still parking in there and moving trucks around in there. I'll bring it to his attention tomorrow. Well, as a matter of fact, Pompey Diarco now is the fire.
I took some pictures of it. I didn't develop them yet. I could see 3 or 4 tractor trailers.
Pictures, we appreciate them too. If you don't-
Okay? We'll double check. If they're back in the fire lane, they shouldn't be.
And you know what, Mayor, we'll check if there's any planning board minutes on which way they're supposed to access that site.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else who wish to be heard?
That was done already.
Evening, Ron Seligmiller, 183 Van Riper Avenue, Elmwood Park. I understand, talking with the mayor, that our street will be paved again. I just want to bring it to your attention that the curbs are almost non-existent. If they're going to repave the road again, we'll have no curbs whatsoever. And
Yes, that particular street, it belongs to the county, and there's some negotiation going on as to giving that street over back to Elmwood Park, but there are conditions that it would have to be paved and curbs would have to be put in,
Okay.
if it comes to us.
Will they replace the curbs and put the proper...
We will ask that be done before we accept the street.
Okay. Also, in front of 163, the road has been sinking for years. They keep throwing blacktop over it. I was wondering if that problem will be addressed also?
That problem was discussed with our DPW superintendent, and before we take the road, that will be cleared up also.
Okay. Thank you.
Daniel Golbeck, 44 Godwin Ave. I have a quick question about the resource officer, the meeting that was scheduled. Why is it being scheduled for after July? Why specifically do we have to wait for Mr. Tomko to be the new superintendent to deal with this issue?
Because Mr. Tomko and the Board of Education want to deal with it rather than having the old superintendent. School's going to be open, the resource office is not going to be there all summer, so there's time to work that out if possible.
Yeah, but say your negotiations don't go through the correct way, and it goes through August. Now they have 3 weeks to prepare for, I don't know, different security measures for next year. If your negotiations don't go through, if you take care of it now, at least you'll know, all right, we have her, or if we don't, we have 2 months to...
That question should be related to the Board of Education.
That was their decision?
Yep.
All right. And just to
They
read...
paid for the police officer.
Yeah.
So they took it out of their budget this year, and
there's
passed, and now they want to put it back in again, so I don't know what they want to do.
Enter...
Excuse me, they may not want to put it back in again, they may just want to leave it like that.
And then you'll have her, you'll have to pay for her, right? You'll have to pay for her if they don't want her.
The police officer comes back and works in town doing normal police work.
All right, and what's the problem with the police department or the chief designating an officer to be around the school, or that being part of his duty to frequently go through the school every day?
There's no problem with that, because they've been doing that for years. Before you had a resource officer, the police always just drove around.
So there's no big problem. There can be there's a solution to this problem if we can't get the resource officer back, correct?
If you don't have the resource officer, he could have a police officer go into the school periodically, drive around. I don't want to tell you how we work the police department, but there's always someone in various sections of town. We're a small town, and it won't take long to get there if they have to get there.
All right. And to reiterate Victor's point, there are some spots in the town that need to be looked at. I mean, you have the photos now. Nobody's saying you have to attack it, get the money and fix it now, but just so you know that there are problems, strollers that are going over, it almost tips over, this baby in there. So it's something that, should be looked at and should be looked at to see if something can be done, if we have the money, if maybe grants or whatever, but something that can be looked at and should be looked at, and hopefully something will be done about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? No one else wishes to be heard, I'll close the public portion of the meeting. Mr. Kaczmarek?
Mayor, at this time, I'd like to read the resolution to go into executive session. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss negotiations regarding the county park, negotiations regarding the white-collar Department of Public Works contracts, and negotiations regarding shared services with the Borough of Rochelle Park, minutes will be kept, and once that matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now therefore be it resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting. Mayor, we'll need a motion and a second.
Motion, please.
Second. Motion.
Mr. Chewinski, second.
Second.
Mr. Caravagna, any discussion? All in favor, opposed, so ordered. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending our meeting. I hope the air conditioner wasn't too cold for you. It keeps going on and off, But thank you very much for coming.